Welcome back, everyone, to the program. And now to some of your stories in brief. We begin in Plateau State as a pathway of resolving the herder-farmer conflict in the state. The government, they're embracing the National Livestock Transformation Plan through the introduction of ranching pilot scheme in 2 local government areas of the state. The position of the state government was made known at a roundtable conference organized by the Plateau Peace Building Agency in Jos, where media practitioners and civil society organizations were informed of the commencement of the scheme in Wase and Kanam local government areas of the state. Now let's bring you more. The politics in Kogi State, it might be taking a turn for the worse as the rift between the Deputy Governor, Simon Achuba, and his principal, Governor Yahaya Bello, appears to have deepened. Well, this is coming as Mr. Achuba has alleged of a plan to kill him by gunmen he said are linked to the governor, calling on the president and the Inspector General of Police to note in case anything happens to him. Mr. Achuba, who criticized the administration of Governor Bello for non-performance, said that civil servants are still being owed salaries even after securing the bailout funds.
The rift between me and the governor is nothing less than the issue of performance. And then the second thing is the issue of salaries. In fact, it got to a point that he was convinced that civil servants are insignificant, which made me to rise up one day to say something that was very annoying to that person. Say, if they are insignificant, let's cancel them off and then run the state without civil servants. But as long as they remain and they come to work, you must pay them their salaries.
Well, in its reaction, the government has denied vehemently the claim that Governor Yahaya Bello is after the life of his deputy, describing the allegation as bogus and an exhibition of blind rage. In a statement, the government expressed surprise that a deputy governor could descend so low to employ a smear campaign against the governor without any shred of evidence. The statement adds, quote, "We do not train assassins, and as such, the state government or her personnel cannot be involved in sending assassins to murder any human soul, let alone a deputy governor of our dear state," end of quote. It challenged Mr. Achuba to bring evidence of his claims and desist from making further spurious allegations against the governor. So let's take us back to the discussions insights on the state of security in Nigeria and the federal government's intervention plans, especially the planned deployment of technology in areas prone to banditry and kidnapping. Mr. Fatai Awoseni, a retired police commissioner, joins us on the program in Lagos. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good afternoon.
All right. So when you hear from a governor, as we heard, I think Governor Bello, when he says they need military assistance to help, you know, expel all the criminals or bandits in the forest, does that, to you, how does that make you feel? Does that say the police has failed in internal security?
It's unfortunate that everybody has been coming on board to offer all kinds of solutions to our problem. And where you have a nation that don't apply institutional memory, this is what you get. Everybody will just come and say this and that. The deployment of military is not the solution at all. The military has its own mandate. What has made the police to fail? No one has ever looked at that. And when you take the military out of their primary roles, you continue to also decimate them. And that is why we're having some of the issues we're having. The internal security problems, there are people that are trained for it. Empower them, give them the wherewithal to perform. It's, you continue to reduce the military to nothing. And it's very unfortunate, and it's not a good thing for the country.
So when you say empower the police, looking at the deployment of technology now, what has been the structure in the past 5 to 10 years for police officers in Nigeria?
Look, because a lot of people are coming out to say all whatever, and of course we are individualistic in this country. We don't have that thing that bonds us together, patriotism, and that is why you have all this. Some of the things that have been suggested now, it's not as if we've not been using them. Yes, technology may be new, but we've been using an element of them. In Lagos State Command here, we had deployed drones. We were cooperating the RRS and the OP MESA where we require them at all. And we used those drones. It is not just about deploying drones. What of the human intelligence? What of the morale of the people that have to work?
You also know that Lagos is different from the Northwest, for example.
So each of the states must, sit. They must get the active participants, the all element that make the security architecture. What you apply in Lagos may not be applicable in Kogi. So each of the state governors must see that. It is not for everyone to run to Abuja to go and meet the president. We have things to do, including our traditional institutions. That is where the human intelligence is important. So if you have all those things together, and there is also the social crime prevention, you must create wealth. You must create employment. You have quite a number of people. We have a lot of indulgence in this country. Some people are setting up farms. Some people are setting up industries. Rather than people to go and work there, they'll only come and disrupt the activities, collect money, and go.
But we're also hearing that the institution, that's the police,
yes,
they've, there's money and they have purchased some of the drones, some of the CCTV. What do you think of the future of policing in Nigeria?
There must be the political determination from the leadership. I mean the political leadership to help the police. What makes police to perform in other places is the time, the timely nature that you respond to crime, and there must be an institutionalized crime prevention framework for the country where what we used to do in Lagos, even with the drones, you may have the drones. There are things that the drones may not see. If you see the drones and you have a control room where you monitor that, okay, yes, some people are here, you must have what to follow up. You must have the vehicles. Dominate the environment with vehicles, with human beings that are well equipped, policemen that we see, and the criminals themselves will say that they're ready. You put policemen on the road, no bulletproof jacket, there is nothing for them to perform, they look tattered. You must address all that. It is when you address that, that you will also that the drones, that the technology will work. The technology will not work.
I definitely know this is an issue we'll keep talking about in the nearest future. We'd like to thank you for coming on the program. And just before we go, the Ogun State Governor, Mr. Dapo Abiodun, has assured women representation in the proposed State Executive Council to give them a sense of belonging in the scheme of things. And he did that by his representative, his deputy, Mrs. Noimot Salakoyede, in Abeokuta, the state capital. She was addressing a women advocacy group that demanded 50% representation in the proposed State Executive Council. That's the program this afternoon. Thank you for watching. I'm Millicent Nwaka.